Charli Evans is set to return to TNT Extreme at Dead or Alive. Scotty Hotty is set to make his debut for TNT Extreme at Thrill Kill. Cara Noir, Bobby Guns, Shigihiro Irie, and Francesco Akira have all entered the Wxw 16 Carat Gold. All 8 female combatants have been announced for Wrestle Carnival's Queen of the Carnival tournament. Modern Nomad Pro Wrestling have announced that all of its shows will be free to watch on YouTube. And it's end of year time, so you know that means it's time for the Great British Awards, brought to you by TNT. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are TNT, a Great British Wrestling podcast for Great British Wrestling, as featured on bodyslam.net, brought to you by Powered 4 TV. I am your host, the Great British Attacker, Mr. Andrew Moore, Andy to most, and I am joined, as always, by the co-host. He is Big Daddy Daniel Allen, or just Dan for short. How are we doing, Dan?
Very, very good. I thoroughly enjoyed my trip out to the wrestling with you yesterday. We had great fun at Seasons Beatings.
Oh, we did indeed. And let me just tell you, I did that entire intro whilst wearing a face mask, because that's how much it does not impede on you. I can breathe, I can talk, I can deliver a promo, I can deliver an intro. Just, you know, if you're going to go and attend a wrestling show, when you know that there is variants going around right now, wear a mask. And if you really want, contact us here and let us know if you would like a TNT face mask, and we will start selling them. Okay, because it is that easy to wear a mask and go to a wrestling show. But we've got a huge show for today, Dan.
We have indeed. We've got some great news. And of course, we've got our end of year awards, because you wouldn't be a podcast without an end of year awards, would you?
You wouldn't be a podcast without an end of year awards, because what wrestling needs is more of a bunch of marks giving out awards that mean nothing.
But my opinion
means fun and it's entertainment.
I am a man on the internet with headphones. I mean everything.
Yeah, yes, I'm not a I do write stuff and I may do some editorials here and there. I'm just a wrestling fan at the end of the day. My opinion means just as much as anybody else's and as little as anybody else's, whichever way you want to see it. Of course, yes, we got the final end of year awards. We've got reviews. We've got reviews of ICW. We've got reviews of WXW's 21st anniversary show, Cara Noir versus Cara Noir versus Walter. Was it as good as a match between Walter and Ilya Dragunov, or Cara Noir versus Ilya Dragunov? You'll have to stay tuned and find out. We've also got reviews of what's been happening on Powered 4 TV recently, Triumph Pro Wrestling, RCWA Wrestling, FNW Wrestling, Catch Pro Wrestling. We've got reviews of all of that, and a review of the most recent Passion Pro event in Hungary, Passion Pro 3. This is going to be a big ass show.
Yes, it is.
Because, yeah, we still got plenty of news to get through. But first, as Daniel rightfully said, we were at Referral UK last night in St. Neots, not St. Neots, St. Neots. Sorry, I forget the name of the ring announcer. I really do, and I apologize. But yeah, it's
Francesco,
yes, St. Neots. But I kind of like the way she put a spin on it. She really gave it emphasis with the St. Neots. I liked it, so I'm not going to complain too much. But it was a fantastic show. There were some great matches, and there
are a couple of real standout matches.
One standing ovation match. So, in fact, I might need to adjust my best independent match. I really might need to have a look and adjust my best independent match after that match. That was amazing. I was thoroughly, thoroughly impressed. And of course, I did get myself some merch. I couldn't help myself. I
Of course.
finally got myself the Yota Tsuji wave, the tsunami. He is coming, and he's already here, unlike Veer. And of course, I got myself Francesco Akira t-shirt, which I'm absolutely in love with, the Fireball Francesco Akira. And I've not showed it off yet, but this is my Kota Ibushi Golden Star jacket. And half of this stuff is available at Referral UK shop. This is available, I'm sure, if you check on Francesco Akira's website or his Facebook, his Twitter page, or wherever social media that you might be using. If you find Fireball Francesco, I'm sure you can find this fantastic Fireball Francesco Akira t-shirt, which Big Dan actually lent me the money to get. Thank you very much, because he only had PayPal cash and I didn't have either. So Dan covered that for me, and that's super duper. That's just what we do here. Let's get on to some of the matches, though. Opened up Shota Umino versus Jason Joshua. Jason Joshua is a contender, which means he's kind of one of the young boys. It's similar to a New Japan the dojo system. So you think of it like that. He's a big boy, though, isn't he, Jason Joshua?
Yeah, he is. He's tall. He's well built. He's definitely got a lot of potential. He's what a wrestler you would imagine would look like.
Yeah, and I was like a Walter almost. Got a physicality of about 280, 290. But you know, saying that, I'm gonna mention it on the review later. Walter looks fantastic right now.
Definitely.
He's trimmed down. He's got a bit more muscle definition. We'll see how that affects him in the long run. But yeah, looking really good, and we'll talk about that more. And Shota Umino came out again. Speaking of guys who look like they've trimmed down a bit, looking like they're in a bit more ring shape, a little bit more physically conditioned. That is certainly Shota Umino right now, looking like he slimmed a little bit. Definitely got a bit more of a six-pack showing. But good match. It was a strong match. It was a nice opening match. Joshua showed that he had some strength, but Shota Umino showed that he had the experience and was the better wrestler. Afterwards, the Legion came out and they tried to get Yota Tsuji to attack Shota Umino, which he wouldn't do. But anyway, then came Team, two extremely athletic men, Kenneth Halfpenny and Percy Jackson. I'm sorry, Sean Jackson. Then Gryffindor varsity jackets that they wear. And Mariah May, who looked fantastic, and they were up against Brendan White, Danny Jones, and Laura Di Matteo. This was a really good match, a solid match. I was a bit disappointed in the fact that they kind of eliminated Danny Jones and then had Brendan White and Laura Di Matteo win.
Don't give away the results. Danny Jones, I thought looked really good in this. Even though he, as you say, wasn't in it for a long time, he did look really strong.
I thought Mariah May is looking the way she and Lizzie Evo is just, I mean, her and Zoe Lucas are just a perfect pairing. They really, really are. Two performers who would certainly give Bratty Brookside a run for her money.
Yay.
But this was a really good, really fun match, elimination match. So definitely look out for this. But then came the final match, the first half,
which I think is going to be the match of the night.
It's the match of the night. It was the match of the night. Hands down, it was the match of the night. It earned a standing ovation. It was the match of the night. And quite frankly, as I say, it could quite possibly be the match of the year. And on that last show of the year, they pulled out a match that quite possibly could be a D match of the year. It was Francesco Akira versus Luke Jacobs. Wow, I can't say wow enough. As I say, I was fully there. One of the first people to be standing on my feet, just clapping. I couldn't help myself. It was beautiful. It's brilliant. Go. I've lost you, Dan. Are you with me?
Luke Jacobs.
Bear with us. Luke Jacobs looked fantastic in this match. He bullied Francesco Akira at times, hit some absolutely lethal looking lariats. Akira just laid in the kicks, hit some knees, some strikes. It was just, as I say, I was one of the first people on my feet to applaud both the competitors for the performance that they put into that match. And yeah, you can't fault this enough. First match back when we came back from the break, Sunshine Machine versus Callum Newman versus Sunshine Machine versus Callum Newman and JJ Gale. This was high octane. This was jumping high, people flipping around the place, and just an all around really, really fun match. Daniel is back with us. Can you, or are you? He was back with us. You're here. And that's still having a few issues at the moment. I'll try and carry on for a little while till we can get Dan re-established. Lee Hunter was in action. He was partnered up with Robbie X and Connor Mills, and a returning back to action, Shota Umino, as they took on the Legions, Gideon Gray, Yota Tsuji, Lucien Phillips, and Dan Maloney as a bit of a hired gun. This again was an elimination style match. Some good performances from some legends, I'd say Robbie X, Lee Hunter. Robbie X is the young veteran. Lee Hunter is true veteran. They helped lead this match alongside Gideon Gray. Lucien Phillips looked like a monster. He is a monster.
He's a big hairy monster.
He is a big hairy monster. A very, very, very big hairy monster. But he gets a few shave your back chants.
Right, I'm going to try coming back onto the video and seeing if it works. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. My internet's crap. I wanted to say Luke Jacobs has been amazing and really stepped up since he's gone on to being a singles wrestler, and Callum Newman is just an amazing flippy god. Yeah,
I forgot to mention the big demo RKJ. RKJ looked super impressive against the super heavyweight in big demo. Even got him up for the Kishi driver, slipping towards the end, but he still managed to deliver it. Greens from Aylesbury, Ashbury Park, if you like, but still a very, very good match, very solid match. So, any other thoughts on the match on the show? Oh, Callum Newman's selling. If he wasn't legitimately hurt, we're still not sure. But he took a really nasty, what was it, double collision? Yeah. And looked to really hurt himself. Very much winded.
Well, I did speak to Callum afterwards, and he did say that he was absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. So he could definitely sell because we were both worried.
Yeah, I was a little worried for him, but because he's been having a phenomenal year. Right, as I say, we've got some news stories for you. We're going to try and get through as quickly as we can, but obviously there will be things that we will need to discuss. Starting off with TNT Extreme Wrestling. Go on, I know you love the guys.
I do indeed. TNT Extreme Wrestling have announced the violence artist Charli Evans will be making her return to TNT Extreme at Dead or Alive on the 3rd of February. Plus, and now I'm excited, Scotty Hotty will make his debut for TNT Extreme at their Thrill Kill show on the 10th of March. Now, he only announced that he wanted to wrestle in the UK about a week ago, I think it was. And already TNT have jumped on that. So well done for booking Scotty Hotty. And I personally am hoping that I get a chance to see him while he is over in the UK.
Well, we've got to see the Extreme Worm.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, Charli Evans, the violence artist. She is one female who is not too scared to get physical with just about anybody in the business. The deathmatch queen, if you like, a GCW girl. She's been doing some great things over there. Again, she's only just announced that she'll be making her way to the UK. We only talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and I think it was always going to be a given that TNT Extreme we're going to come knocking at her door.
Yes, definitely. She definitely will be a good fit.
Indeed. Next up is Wxw Germany. Just announced today, breaking news, literally only a couple of hours ago when we're recording, not when you'll be seeing this. But Cara Noir has entered the Wxw 16 carat tournament. He's not the only other recent entrant. The King of Smoke Style, the former German WXW Unified World Champion, Bobby Guns, will be in action. Japanese Superstar DDT Dragon Gate, Shigihiro Irie will be in action, as will the Fireball, Francesco Akira. He will be in action at the WXW 16 Carat Gold. Of course, Cara Noir was the last winner of the previous WXW 16 Carat Gold. His current run in WXW Germany hasn't been great. He's made a few sporadic appearances since winning that 2019 Carat Gold tournament, defeat Mike Bailey in the finals, defeated Marius Arlani in the semi-finals. Since then, of course, he has recently been defeated by Marius Arlani, and wait and find out how we got on at the WWX anniversary show in just a little while. Patience, my Padawans.
Modern Nomad Pro Wrestling, in what can only be described as incredible. Modern Nomad Pro Wrestling have announced that all of their shows will be free to view online forever. No paywalls, no bullshit. Thank you. So yeah, they're going to be going up on YouTube, I believe.
Yeah, and you'd be happy to know that I have already watched their first show, Tuesday Night Graps Lives, and it will be part of our reviews a little bit later in the show. So once again, my friends, we just need to be patient.
Another bit of news from Modern Nomad Pro Wrestling is the local Shindy company, which is Modern Nomad Pro Wrestling's Welsh contingent.
It's their second show.
Yeah, is up in the air at the moment because in Wales, you're only allowed to have a limitation of 30 people for indoor events. So at the moment, they are not sure if it will be going ahead. They put a post out saying if you've already got tickets, they're willing to hold them or refund them. They're doing everything in correct possible way, as we would expect from such a professional group of people.
Indeed. Hopefully that show does go ahead. The announced talent, it looks set to be a great show. So very much happy to see. Well, really want to see that go ahead. Anyway, Wrestle Carnival. Yes, Wrestle Carnival have announced all 8 of the competitors for their upcoming Queen of the Carnival tournament at Carnival of Champions on the 29th of January. The 3 latest entrants are recently announced: Mercedes Blaze, one of the MVPs of the Progress Women's Division; Lizzie Evo, the Queen of the Northeast, dominating the independent scene right now; and Chantel Jordan, one of the hottest prospects in UK Brit Wres right now. Legit kickboxing background. She brings. She is my number 1 pick. I'm going out there on a limb, and I am picking Chantel Jordan to shock the world and go on to lift this, because I mean the tournament's filled with the who's who. You've got Lana Austin, who was already announced, Jetta, Alex Windsor, Charlie Morgan, and Rio. This is going to be a great tournament.
It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait because I'm going to be there.
You are. Who are you going to put your money? Are you going to go out on a limb? Are you going to put your money on someone?
I am going to put my money on someone.
Who are you going to put your money on?
The lady that I think has to be the number 1 seed. It's got to be Lizzie Evo.
I would put Alex Windsor down as the number 1 seed.
Ooh.
Rev Pro UK champion, holds a win over Jordan Grace in Wrestle Carnival.
Yeah, but she can't smack talk like Lizzie Evo.
She can't smack talk like Lizzie Evo. No, but nobody in women's wrestling can smack talk like Lizzie Evo.
Nobody in wrestling can smack talk like Lizzie Evo.
Not even the great scout Zach Gibson wants to mess with Lizzie Evo when it comes to the running in the mouth.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. Let's see. Let's go. We're gonna try and do some quick ones. So, Triumph Pro Wrestling have announced that Corey McRae will be part of their Cruise Control roster on the 12th of February.
Fight Nation Wrestling have announced that Jade will face Laura Di Matteo in a women's fight league match at Rise of the Kingdom on the 27th of January. Laura Di Matteo currently is undefeated in the female fight league with 2 wins, no losses, no draws, whilst Jade is at no wins, 1 loss, and no draws. Plus, the Z-Force champ Mad, and I'll be there too.
That is the Z-Force champion Madka defending against Ashley Dunn. That should be a interesting match. Any match involving Madka is always interesting. Phenomenal Elite Wrestling. Tickets are now available for PEW's debut show, A Brave New World, which is on the 26th of February. Our man Dan on the ground will be there. Would you like to tell us the card?
I would love to. So far announced is Rio versus Harley Hudson versus Mariah May for the Women's Championship. Ooh. A golden ticket battle royal will be taking place. Dexter will be taking on Sheikh El Sham. Warren Banks will go against Martin Kirby. Big Guns Joe versus Jim Diehard. Lucia Lee and Laurie versus Mia Cortez and Jade. And Jason Joshua versus Danny Black versus H Hood versus Just Joe Orlando.
We've got some more matches breaking. Did we go for? Did I hear Martin Kirby?
You heard Martin Kirby, Warren Banks. Yep.
There we go. So that's for going to be a championship qualifying match.
I'm looking forward to that, but I'm particularly looking forward to Rio versus Harley Hudson versus Mariah May.
Yep, for the women's champion. Big Guns Joe and Jim Diehard is also a championship qualifying match.
And Dexter and Sheikh El Sham?
And it looks like, yes, Dexter and Sheikh El Sham will also be. And the winners will go on to the second show in a triple threat matchup for the championship. Some fantastic matches, some fantastic performers. I bet you're super excited.
I've got some great wrestling coming up.
You really, really do. I'm a little bit jealous, but I am getting married next year, so it's all good. Northumbria Pro Wrestling Society, the NPWS, have announced that Damon Moser will be making his way to the Northeast. He'll be facing Northeast legend Screwface Ahmed at their Southern Shakedown show, which will be on the 4th of February.
Catch Pro Wrestling Monday Night Catch returns on the 4th of February, and Catch Pro have announced a cracking match to kick off their 2022 as Tom Thelwell defends his catchweight championship against Scotty Rock. Plus, Dynamite Lee faces off with Brady Phillips.
Yeah, there should be some great couple of matches there. Art of Combat AOC have announced that after an impassionate promo and all the incredible response from fans and wrestlers alike, Charles Crowley will be at their first show, Run This Town Tonight, on the 3rd of March. They recently just announced their main event of the evening is going to be Dan Maloney versus Chris Ridgeway. Art of Combat, 3rd of March.
That's going to be a lot of slapping of meat.
Indeed.
Wrestling Resurgence have announced their match card for their Bring Me the Mask of Cara Noir on the 15th of January. Lycos Jim versus BDSM. Mike Bird versus Harry Singh. The Great British Scramble match. And Jim Diehard versus RJ Singh. That's a good-looking card.
And, of course, Charli Evans versus Cara Noir. Pro Wrestling East have announced that throughout 2022, they will be running consecutively two tournaments to crown both a women's and men's champion. At their first show, Out of the Ashes, on February 19th in Cambridge, they will host the first 2-round matchups for both tournaments.
New Riot Wrestling are going to be returning on the 15th of March with Cash Culture and Violence. And that's going to be at the Garage in London. I've been to some gigs there over the years. Ronnie Knox, Just Joe Lando, Laura Di Matteo, Warren Banks, RJ Singh, Chikara, Jordan Breaks, Chris Ridgeway, Nico Angelo, Billy Hayes, and Mariah May make up a stacked card for New Riot Wrestling.
Indeed. Now, I think it is time, drumroll please, for the TNT's Great British Wrestling Awards 2021. There you go.
Yes.
We're going to kick things off. We'll talk about NXT UK. So let's kick a few things off. Now, we have separated out a few of the independent promotions. We've segmented out NXT UK for one, Progress, ICW, and RevPro UK. Now, our settlement for this is going to be we at least have to qualify at least have to put on 10 shows as a minimum to qualify for single awards during a annual period. Now, TNT Extreme is one of the promotions that we'll probably be looking at next year. Now, it's whether we could look to see if TNT Extreme and TNT Ignition are the same, or whether we want to actually separate those two out. I believe the two promotions should be considered two separate brands, two separate promotions, and for that reason, this year they haven't quite qualified. Next year, well, they'll have 10 shows each. Both shows will qualify. Of course, you also have to have enough of a streaming audience as well. So being part of Power 4 TV and things like and your own streaming services. So that's why we're kind of making this, because popularity will always play a part into where we'll be looking at. Okay, so look, let's kick it off with NXT UK.
Okay.
We do Stephen Souden's Great British Wrestling Awards.
Go on then.
I haven't got my phone. Have you got your phone?
I have, but I didn't see him. I must have sent those to you directly.
No, it was a while back on Facebook. He sent us a good little list. Mainly, obviously, focusing us on the Ultimate British Wrestling that he'd been going to quite a lot. Now I'm looking through the wrong one. We'll have to do it for you next week, Stephen. We promise. We won't let you down, the tribal chief of the Big Fat Geeks, and we'll deliver his choices.
I'm sure that his main choice would have been Pretty Deadly for all the reasons.
I think NXT UK Male Performer would have been joining Sammy Smooth and Sam Stoker and Lewis Howley for top NXT UK female performer. I'm pretty sure he would have put forward Samantha Smooth and Louise Howley. And then, of course, it's the best NXT UK tag team. I'm sure he would have, of course, chosen Pretty Deadly Lewis Howley and Sam Stoker. Would you not think?
I think definitely, but I think we're digressing. I think we need to get on with our TNT Awards 2021.
No, TNT Great British Wrestling Awards 2021, because it is Great British Wrestling, because we are a Great British Wrestling podcast for Great British Wrestling. Anyway, NXT UK Male Performer. The 3 nominees I picked were A-Kid, Ilya Dragunov, and Walter.
I chose exactly the same 3. Let's see if we've chosen the same as our number 1.
A-Kid.
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 Has to be. He has been able to wrestle absolutely everyone to such an incredibly high standard. He's been able to do it in a variety of styles. He has just had an outstanding year. Got to be A-Kid.
Yeah, an incredible year. Highlighting matches against guys like Nathan Fraser, his match against Ilya Dragunov, his match against Walter, his match against that Irish guy, any match he was been in, his match with Rampage and Nathan Fraser in a triple threat. A-Kid has just been phenomenal. And yes, with the Walter Ilya Dragunov match, of course, we are all aware of the Walter Ilya Dragunov match, but one match alone does not. And I think for consistency, for most improved, there's just so many degrees of why he deserves to be NXT UK Male Performer of the Year, and that is A-Kid for me and A-Kid for yourself.
Yep. Female Performer of the Year.
Your nominations, please.
My 3 were Ginny, Kaylee Ray, and Meiko Satomura. For Female of the Year, Ginny, Meiko Satomura, and Kaylee Ray.
They were exactly the same picks that I have: Meiko Satomura, Ginny, and Kaylee Ray. And my winner, my personal choice, is Ginny.
And that is exactly the same with me. John.
I feel, again, you can point to Meiko's title reign, Kaylee Ray's title reign, but everything that's not involved in the title, anything that's big that happened in the women's division that's not involved, she's elevated talent, she's helped to elevate the belts, she's had some great matches throughout the year against the likes of Kaylee Ray, against the likes of Aoife Valkyrie, Pipe, and Niven, and so many others. Yeah, for that reason, Ginny, for you?
She's been the face of the women's division. She has been absolutely everywhere, and every match she's been in has been fantastic. I've loved watching her. And again, as I've said it pretty much every time we discuss her, didn't like her at all when she came in. Absolutely love her to pieces now. I think she's amazing. Ginny, definitely the best.
Indeed. Top NXT UK Tag Team of the Year. And this was poor pickings, really, but the three nominations were pretty deadly. Mustache Mountain, Oliver Carter, and Ashton Smith.
Yeah, I've got for the same three. And we both couldn't have chosen the same winners because there's only one true tag team that have shined through.
Pretty deadly.
It's the Bananas in Pajamas.
It's the Bananas in Pajamas. And they're winning championships. Oh no, they skidded. They wore the banana suits and they skidded. They skidded on the banana peel and they lost the NXT Tag Team Champions recently against Mustache Mountain. And yeah, Cara and Smith have looked great every time they have been out, which is why they got the nomination, despite the fact that I still, until they give themselves a tag team name at least, they're not a true tag team.
Yep.
Okay. Top NXT UK up and comer or young performer of the year. Daniel.
Okay. Well, one of them, I've put him in far too early, but I just think he's going to be amazing, which is Charlie Dempsey, although he hasn't really been there long enough. Tearman and Nathan Fraser are my three.
My three were Leah James, Nathan Fraser, and Charlie Dempsey.
I think we can both agree that it's too early for Dempsey.
Probably is too early for Dempsey. Probably same should be said for James. I mean, she's only got her first couple of wins. She's just a phenomenal young talent, so I'm gonna name her every year. But Nathan Fraser for me is the standout. He's been phenomenal. It's easy to see he's trained by Seth Rollins, gifted athletically. He looks great. Really picking up that British technical wrestling base now to go along with the flips. He's going to be a phenomenal talent, and next year he quite possibly might be NXT UK Performer of the Year.
You're assuming that I chose Nathan Fraser as well? I might have chosen Tearman.
You might have, but I feel like you've chosen Nathan Fraser.
I did. I can't believe that we chose the same for all of them, but that does show consistency from NXT. Well done, guys.
Yeah, pretty much. As I say, the only difference was me picking Leah James in as the nominee for that. Okay, so NXT UK Match of the Year. I mean, no doubt we know who the winner is. But my nominees were Walter and Ilya, A-Kid versus Walter, and A-Kid versus Nathan Fraser.
Mine were A-Kid versus Nathan Fraser, Walter versus Ilya, and the other one was a recent one, which wasn't as big a thing, which was Nathan Fraser versus Mark Andrews, because that match I enjoyed so much.
And again, shows to exactly why Nathan Fraser was picked as the NXT UK Performer of the Year. But let's face it, the match of the year was Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. I don't think there's any way to question that.
No, it's undeniable.
It's the violence, the brutality, the realism, the emotion, the drama. You know, if you tick the box on everything that what wrestling should be as a whole, if you're old school, if you're new school, this was it. Apart from maybe for some guys out there, probably didn't have enough flips.
Didn't need it. The flips were when they were thrown off their feet by Walter's slaps.
Yeah. Just what a match anyway.
Yeah, well done.
So, Progress Wrestling, top male performer of the year. The nominees: Cara Noir, Chris Ridgeway, and Spike Gervais. Are yours the same?
Mine are the same, and I would go with out of those Cara Noir.
Yeah, Cara Noir. So, you know, he held that belt. He held it with distinction. I like a lot of what Ridgeway has done throughout the Progress. But yeah, Noir for me has just, he's elevated some talent. he's enhanced some talent. He's made that Progress belt really mean something with a long reign with multiple defenses. So Cara Noir, and yes, look forward to seeing what Ridgeway, Spider-Man, and Cara Noir do in Progress in the future. The top female performers of the year: Giselle Shaw, Alexis Falcon, and Mercedes Blaze.
Oh, now you see, I had somebody else in there.
Who did you have?
I have Rio.
Oh, no. But two matches and two strong matches that she had. She's in the final for the Revelations of Divine Love tournament. I can understand why she might get a nomination. My pick was Mercedes Blaze. Oh, sorry, yeah. Who did you not pick then?
I didn't pick Giselle Shaw.
Oh.
But I would agree with you on Mercedes Blaze.
Mercedes Blaze is the Progress Women's Performer of the Year. Top Progress Tag Team: Lycos Gym, Smoking Aces, or Sunshine Machine were my picks.
They were my picks as well, and my pick overall was Sunshine Machine.
Ooh, I went with the Smoking Aces. I can definitely see why you would pick the Sunshine Machine, and definitely see why on Dan's version, the Sunshine Machines are that they have some phenomenal matches. They are the #1 contenders right now for the belts of the Smoking Aces. I just went with the Smoking Aces. They came out of nowhere, and then they just started having banger matches every time they went into the ring. And then they went and won the tag team titles, and then they continued to have banger matches every time they got in the ring. And yeah, just a huge fan of so. Two winners: Sunshine Machine and the Smoking Aces. Top Progress Up and Comer or Youngster of the Year. My nominations were Danny Black, Malik, and Warren Banks.
I would go Danny Black, Warren Banks, and Luke Jacobs.
Yeah, definitely. But my winner was Warren Banks.
My winner would also be Warren Banks.
I feel he's had a very underrated Progress run. I'm actually surprised he hasn't had a championship, because he was the runner-up in the Natural Progression Series tournament. He's avenged that loss against Luke Jacobs. He holds wins over Chris Ridgeway, Jody Fleisch, and many of the other top, have certainly gotten title shots with less wins in their bank. So Warren Banks for me, and I just think he's had a really good matches out and out just throughout the year. So fair play to them on that. The top Progress match of the year: Cara Noir versus Chris Ridgeway in that Iron Man match draw. Lycos Gym versus the Young Guns in the tag team tournament finals to crown a tag team champions. And Chris Ridgeway versus Kid Lycos from literally the last Progress show. Dan.
I haven't watched enough to make an informed comment on this, but I did love Ridgeway versus Lycos, so I'm going to put this all over to you.
Ridgeway versus Lycos. it was my match of the year. Chris Ridgeway, Lycos, Kid Lycos, they were phenomenal. They were incredible. Just such a great wrestling match. May not have had the storyline drama like many other matches had in Progress during the time that could maybe push into being there. But on a whole technical wrestling level, Chris Ridgeway, Kid Lycos, it was literally the last show. I can't remember the name of the show. It just such a great show. But Chris Ridgeway, Kid Lycos, you are the TNT Progress match of the year. Time for some Referral UK.
Okay, my three top males are Robbie X, Doug Williams, and RKJ.
Mine were RKJ, and you might be surprised at this one, Michael Oku and Shota Umino.
I'm not surprised at that. It could be any of those guys.
Really yeah, but for me, Michael Oku, though.
You're not, I know.
I'm not never like the huge, but I'm not going to deny how fantastic he's been this year, and he's had some great matches.
Yep.
And before we put it out there, it would have been quite unfair to actually put Will Ospreay in this. You don't know, he may be in the top British performer of the year overall, but for Referral UK, I'm going with RKJ. I think he's been phenomenal.
For me, it was a tough one between Robbie X and RKJ, but I think it's got to be RKJ. He has been at the absolute top of his game.
Yeah, just so many great matches throughout, especially that Will Ospreay match. The top Rev Pro UK female performer of the year, women performer of the year. I went with my nominees as Giselle Shaw, Hyan, and Zoe Lucas.
I went for the same three.
And I went with Giselle Shaw as the winner.
And I think that is, again, something that you cannot argue or debate. Giselle Shaw had the best year by far. The quality of her matches was outstanding. And she was definitely the best female performer for Rev Pro of 2021.
Yeah, definitely. On the TNT Great British Wrestling Awards 2021, Rev Pro UK Performer of the Year is Giselle Shaw. The top Rev Pro UK Tag Team of the Year, I went with the Young Guns, Aussie Open, or Destination Everywhere for the nominees.
I went for Destination Everywhere, Newman and Gale, and Sunshine Machine.
Ooh, because my winners were Aussie Open.
My winners were Destination Everywhere.
Oh, interesting.
Now, I feel that Destination Everywhere have had a longer tenure, more matches, and also bigger matches, both individually as well as the tag team.
Yeah, but then I just go back. Well, for one, I can give you Destination Everywhere for one because they were in one of the matches I consider to be one of the best matches of the year, which was Destination Everywhere versus Aussie Open. But then I also remember that Aussie Open Young Guns match, which hands down could have been one of the best tag team matches. You know, I'm going to say it was probably one of the best tag team matches ever. It was great. Their second one didn't live up to the first one, but it was still just a phenomenal match. And any other matches that they kind of just had out there, Lycos Jim, Callum Newman, and
that's
JJ
why
Gale.
They are the best tag team for Rev Pro this year.
Aussie Open, yes. They are Andy's Great British Wrestling Award 2021, Rev Pro UK Tag Team of the Year, Aussie Open. The top Rev Pro UK up and comer.
Right, I'll give you that one.
Oh no, yeah, your one counts as well. It is Daniel's TNT Great British Wrestling Award, top Rev Pro UK Tag Team 2021, Destination Everywhere. Top Rev Pro UK Perform Up and Comer Young Person. I went with the picks. My nominations would have been Callum Newman, Mariah May, and Yota Tsuji.
I would have gone with Callum Newman, Mariah May, and it was a tough one. Part of me wanted to put in Brendan White, but I think he's probably a bit too old. Even though he's only just come out of the contenders division, does he still count as an up and comer? I don't know.
He's only 5 years in. I'm
going to say Brendan White.
I'm going to say that. Give him a shout out. He deserves it.
The big Welsh bear.
The big Welsh bear has looked brilliant. As you say, 5 years, I would say he's just at the cut-off period for an up-and-comer. I would still consider Danny Jones an up-and-comer, and that's his tag team partner. So, I'm sure he won't mind the nomination anyway. Anyway, my winner was Callum Newman.
My winner was also Callum Newman.
There you go. The top Rev Pro UK up and comer, Callum Newman. Top Rev Pro UK match of the year. I went with RKJ versus Will Ospreay. Giselle Shaw versus Alex Windsor for the championship, their championship match, and Aussie Open versus Young Guns.
I went for Francesco Akira versus Luke Jacobs, Giselle Shaw versus Hyan, and Speedball Mike Bailey versus Michael Oku.
Ooh. And my winner was Giselle Shaw and Alex Windsor.
And my winner was Speedball Mike Bailey versus Michael Oku.
There we go. We have joint winners again for the Rev Pro UK match of the year. Daniel Allen's pick is. Sorry, what was it again?
Speedball Mike Bailey versus Michael Oku.
And my pick, Giselle Shaw and Hale Windsor, absolutely phenomenal matches. ICW, I'll pass it over to you.
My male was between Kez Evans, BT Gunn, and Thatcher Wright.
My nominees would have been Kez Evans, Craig Anthony, or Leighton Buzzard.
That's good calls. My overall best male for ICW is Kez Evans.
My overall ICW male would have been Kez Evans, and it is Kez Evans.
Yeah, and he has been the most wonderful heel that he can be.
Yeah, complete
for
arsehole. Loved it.
Yeah. For my females, I went for Casey, Molly Spartan, and Anastasia, because I want to take them as independent wrestlers, not just as a tag team, because they have been having lots of solo matches as well.
I went with top ICW female nominees were Casey, Molly Spartan, and Angel Hayes.
Overall, my top female wrestler for ICW was Casey.
Overall, my top female performer was Angel Hayes.
Oh, no, I can understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, she is the champion. Those matches she had with Molly Spartan, phenomenal.
Tag team, this was a difficult one for me between two of them. I went for the She-Wolves, Thatcher's Cabinet, and the 9-9.
I had the 9-9, the KOE, and Alex Parker and Logan Smith.
Oh, that's a nice one.
I thought nice young tag team.
Yep.
Same as the Thatcher's Cabinet. It's almost this thing. It's like they're getting a nominee just because we're kind of fans. But I think overall the winner has to be the 9-9.
I think overall the winner has to be the She-Wolves.
Yeah, fair.
Young talent. Do you want to go first?
Ian Skinner, Luke Cairo, Daz Black.
Ian Skinner, Daz Black, Luke Cairo.
And my winner was Daz Black. I'm sorry, Ian. I know we're buds.
Yeah. Exact same. My winner was Daz Black. ICW match of the year.
My picks were Angel Hayes versus Molly Spartan, the cage match that they had. What was it? Full Bard.
Yeah.
KC versus Rio from this weekend's Fear and Loathing. This past weekend's Fear and Loathing, night 2. And Daz Black versus Francesco Akira in night 1. Nearly picked Craig Anthony and Kez Evans, but I felt Black and Akira.
I was torn between Daz Black versus Martin Kirby, Casey versus Rio, as you mentioned, because that was brilliant. Ian Skinner versus Francesco Akira.
Ooh.
That was a hell of a match.
It was a really, really good match.
And it was my winning match.
My winning match was Angel Hayes and Molly Spartan in the cage match. Fully barred.
I'm absolutely amazed at that because you don't generally go for cage matches and things like that. So
I
yeah.
don't, but the story was there throughout the year, and yeah, I just think Angel Hayes and Molly Spartan. It could have almost been the feud of the year if we had done feud of the years, which we're not doing this year, but we might look at next year. We'll keep changing up how we do the awards year after year, I'm sure.
Yeah. Right, so the indies.
The top indie male performer, my nominations: Chris Ridgeway, Dan Maloney, and Will Cruz.
I would go Chris Ridgeway, Charlie Sterling, and Kid Lycos.
Nice. And my winner is Chris Ridgeway.
And I don't think anyone can argue with that. My winner as well.
Yeah, we look at he's been a big deal in both Rev Pro and Progress, but he held championship at the FNW. He's doing stuff at TNT Extreme, fantastic match against Dan Maloney and Dean Allmark. Kamikaze Pro, Wrestle Carnival, the matches he had with Wrestle Carnival were just phenomenal. So definitely, I feel, yeah, Chris Ridgeway, you are the TNT Great British Wrestler, Independent Performer 2021, Chris Ridgeway.
Best indie female performer. I went for either Lizzie Evo, Chantel Jordan, or Alexis Falcon.
I went with Alex Windsor, Alexis Falcon, or Lizzie Evo, and my winner was Lizzie Evo.
Mine too, because I was absolutely terrified of what she would say if she didn't win.
Me too, and she fully, absolutely, 100% deserves this. Her feud in TNT Extreme with Alexis Falcon, but I think it won their awards, their feud of the year. Could have even won their match of the year at one point. They had incredible matches. She's done incredible things with Catch Pro and so many others. Yeah, Lizzie Evo.
This is the first category where I do want to do an honourable mention.
Go for it.
I'd like to give an honourable mention to Session Moth Martina, who didn't wrestle quite as much as the others, couldn't make it into my top 3, but where she has wrestled has been fantastic.
She probably wrestled as much as my nominee wins, but yeah, I definitely feel you there, Session with Martina. My top independent tag team nominations were Kings of the North, She-Wolves, and Crash Boat.
Oh wow, we've got 3 different ones.
Ooh.
I went for Northwest Strong, Lycos Jim, and the Pretty Little Killers.
Well, my winners were Kings of the North. I mean, their TNT Extreme run recently become the ICW Tag Team Champions. They dominated OTT. Yeah, I couldn't look any further than the Kings of the North. She-Wolves had a phenomenal year, and Crash Boat, they're super fun. I just absolutely love the boys. Jack Bandicoot, Jake Silver, but Kings of the North, me, Tag Team of the Year. Who were your winners?
Northwest Strong.
Which combination, or just as a whole?
Luke Jacobs and Young, off injured.
Ethan Allen. Well, so basically, you're the Young Guns.
Yes.
Yeah. Northwest Strong's the Young Guns. Yeah, I can. Yeah, Young Guns. Right up there, aren't they? Every time. But I felt I gave them enough rub at Progress and their thing that I thought I had to mention a couple of other tag teams that have been more on the independent scene, and that is Kings of the North for me. They are.
I can't argue with that.
The top independent up and comer performers. I went with Tom Felwell. Actually, can we do a male and female for this one? I think we should do a top. I think we should be a male and a female.
Okay.
Well, because there's enough in most independent promotions like Progresses aren't enough. But I think if we looked at the whole independent scene, there's more than enough.
Yep. Okay, I'm up for that.
Okay. So my male top independent up-and-coming performer of the year. My nominations were Tom Farewell, Scott Overman, and Just Joe Lando.
Ooh. Okay, we have different ones.
Who
My
are yours?
3, Nino Bryant,
Mm-hmm.
Mad Kurt,
Mm-hmm.
and Lycos 2.
Mm-hmm. My winner was Scott Overman.
My winner was Kid Lycos 2.
Fair. Both are absolutely phenomenal and both deserving of certainly being up in the top independent up-and-comers. Scott Overman, member of the Northwest Strong, of course, Lycos to the inheritor of Lycos Germany. So, top independent, up-and-comer, Harley Hudson, Hannah Taylor, Chantel Jordan.
Harley Hudson, Clementine, Evie Madden.
Winner, Harley Hudson.
Winner, Harley Hudson.
The Scouse Mouse powerhouse herself. I'm sorry, we have no idea what people think of when we give them these little nicknames. They may absolutely hate us for it, but I'm sorry, Harley Hudson, if you do not like the fact that I do call you the Scouse Mouse powerhouse. Please don't beat me up because
you could very easily.
Yeah, quite possibly. I just think she's a phenomenal young performer. She's burst onto the scene in the North, East, West, if you like, and she's I just think she's going to be a superstar, and long live for that. Next up is the top independent match of the year. I'm sure these are going to be quite different, but my ones are Crash Boat versus Kid Lycos. That was at North Wrestling at their first show. I was there live. Keenan versus Kev Lloyd from the Catch Pro Enigma series. Northwest Strong versus the Wigan Pit. I went on about this match last week about just how good I thought this match was, and I just needed to be mentioned. And Callum Newman versus Danny Black from FNW's Renaissance.
Okay, mine were the 4-way dance at Wrestle Carnival with Callum Newman, Maverick Mayhew, Just Joe Lando, and Danny Black. The lightweight Mel Mason championship match between Nino Bryant and Maverick Mayhew, which was held at Rumble Wrestling. And the Newman versus Black match from Renaissance at FNW.
Yeah, my winner is that Newman versus Black match.
My winner is the 4-way dance from Wrestle Carnival.
I mean, you literally had the guys, all of them, so not surprised that you picked it. But yeah, Newman Black, that Newman dive from the stage to the springboard to the drop kick was just insane. Both of them just pulled off insane stuff in that match. It was great. I loved it. So yeah, my Great British Wrestling Independent Award for Best Match goes to Newman and Black. We had you for so long. I was losing you. Go for it. Can say that again?
Mine's got to be the 4-way dance. I just loved it so much.
Yeah, I know. So the top independent promotion of the year. My 3 nominations were TNT Extreme, FNW, and British Wrestling Revolution.
Mine were TNT Extreme, FNW, and Wrestle Carnival.
You'll probably see why I didn't put them in a minute, but my winner was TNT Extreme Wrestling.
My winner was also TNT Extreme Wrestling.
I really like what TNT Extreme Wrestling have been putting together up in that North West area. I guess in some degrees, you could almost say they've done what Progress did a few years ago in the London scene. And they've been doing that over the last few years. They have some stellar things. They're all women's deathmatch tournament, and they're all women's show highlights.
Sirens Fury.
What they did this year. So fair play to TNT Extreme Wrestling. Top new promotion of the year. My nominations were Purpose Wrestling, Catch Pro Wrestling, and Wrestle Carnival.
Mine were Wrestle Carnival, Purpose, and Catch.
Yeah, I absolutely love what Catch Pro have been doing. Really love what Purpose Wrestling doing in London when it comes to building a local brand in their own areas. Purpose almost following in Progress's footsteps. Catch Pro very much doing something very similar over what they've been doing. Love the Enigma series, but Wrestle Carnival are my winners. They're different to what the other guys have been trying to do, and what Wrestle Carnival seem to be feeling like are almost like super shows.
Yeah,
and for that reason, I've got to go with
it was tough. It was tough for me between Wrestle Carnival and Catch, because Catch had more sort of progressive stories going through, but overall, for the quality of work and what they've been putting through, Wrestle Carnival.
Yeah, just as I say, for me, that super show feel, particularly with the pure show and the ROH, the Wrestle Carnival, the Carnival of Honor show, and what was the other, and just that first show was just phenomenal, and the end of the year show, and it's just all been so. We said they've challenged guys like Referral UK. We don't mean on because they've been around that long, but because they've put cards together as higher quality as the best UK promotion. So on that note, that about wraps up the 2021 team.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, wait.
We have our best European wrestler.
Oh, yes. Best European wrestler. My nominations would be Francesco Akira, Marius El Arni, and Peter Tihani.
Mine would be Francesco Akira, Axel Tiska, and Marius El Arni.
And my winner would be Marius El Arni.
And my winner would be Francesco Akira.
Don't blame you. What he's been doing everywhere, just showing up around the scene right now. Every top promotion throughout Europe, and definitely 100% deserves a shout out. I just think Marichal Arnie has been a golden rock during this really tough time for Wxw Germany, of course, with the pandemic, just like every other promotion. When they were running No Fans Show, I felt that Al Arnie was helping as the champion. He held that show together. His 30-0 winning streak as champ, prior to becoming champion, going on champion and massing a 30-0. Finally defeated by Axel Tiska. Yeah, great.
Do you want to do veterans and returns?
Top veterans nominees.
Jody Fleisch, Doug Williams, and Roy Knight.
Jody Fleisch, Doug Williams, Dean Allmark, and my winner would be Dean Allmark.
And my winner would be Jody Fleisch.
Nice. Top return, Martin Kirby, Big Damo, and Doug Williams. And the winner, Martin Kirby.
Martin Kirby, Doug Williams, Big Damo. The winner, Martin Kirby, because it came out of nowhere.
Because it came out of nowhere, and absolutely love having all of these guys back on the scene. So long live all these returns.
And that is the end of our best of tournament.
Yes, the TNT Great British Wrestling Awards 2021 has come to an end. Now it's about time we get into some recaps and reviews, because there's been tons of British wrestling out there for you to enjoy, and not just British wrestling, but European wrestling. We'll kick it off with Fear and Loathing. We're going to quickly do the results, maybe talk about one or two matches from Fear and Loathing, going on to the latest ICW Fight Club. Go.
Daz Black defeated Francesco Akira in an amazing match. Absolutely brilliant. As good as you could have hoped it would be. Levi and Sweeney defeated Daro and Sakib Ali. Theodorus defeated Ravy Davy. This means that we now have new rules in ICW.
Yes.
And you will enjoy these rules, except for the fact that you're still allowed to use weapons. But there is now a 20 count outside the ring. And there are no interruptions during matches.
You think these are WWE imposed rules?
I don't know. I think it was just to make it a little bit more obvious so we knew what the rules were.
Yeah.
Aaron Echo defeated Logan Smith. Chris Bungard defeated Jason Reed. This was surprisingly good match. The Manifesto defeated Jimmy Pierce, Luking Sharp, and The Burge. Thatcher Wright defeated DCT. Good match. And also nice to see Thatcher Wright wrestling a full match. Angel Hayes defeated Molly Spartan. What did you think of that one?
Great match.
Jackson defeated Kez Evans. Dylan Thorne defeated Danny Hope, Joey Hayes, Martin Kirby, Sheik El Sham, and Talon Jr. in a ladder match that he wasn't even supposed to be in at the beginning.
Yeah, loved it. Great ladder match. Well,
it was a good one. Kyra Maxted defeated KOE. Kez Evans defeated Jackson. Kinky Party, Jack Jester, and a returning Shah Samuels defeated Ian and Charles Weiss. Andy Wilde versus Big Damo went to a time limit draw. Leighton Buzzard defeated LJ Cleary. What did you think of this one?
Really, really good match. Loved it.
Really, really, really good match. Leighton Buzzard's amazing. Casey defeated Rio, and the Kings of the North
match.
Yes. Kings of the North defeated the 9-9.
Good match.
And BT Gunn defeated Stevie Boy. My kind of match.
Yeah.
So ICW Fight Club that was released on the 25th of December started off with Stevie James versus Dylan Thorne. This was a good match. Both of them looking strong going through. In the end, Dylan Thorne won it with the Crown of Thorns, got the 1-2-3. Anastasia then took on the newcomer Harmony Sky. Pretty much a squash match with this one. Anastasia, bigger, more powerful, showed that through to the end, won it with a Slaymore kick. Theodorus then took on Sakib Ali. I don't know if it's just Sakib Ali's haircut, but I'm starting to enjoy his matches more, which is a big thing because I just couldn't stand the guy. But this was a good match. Theodorus won with the elbow from Olympus. Aaron Echo then beat the crap out of Jimmy Pierce for 10 minutes. I don't think Jimmy Pierce really got a move in against Aaron Echo. This was a proper beatdown. And Aaron Echo won it with his Rolling Thunder punch. Then there was a brilliant match. Daz Black, who has been having some of the best matches in ICW at the moment, took on Eddie Castle. You may not have thought much of this because Eddie Castle's just been sort of in the manifesto, not doing that much. But my God, he's a good wrestler. Back and forth, 50-50 match, huge number of 2 counts and false finishes. Great moves. Daz Black went to do his curb stomp, and Castle managed to grab him in midair and turn it into a backbreaker. It was beautifully done, really great move. In the end, though, Black managed to escape and hit the curb stomp for the 1-2-3. And that was ICW.
Not bad. From what I saw of Fear and Loathing, if I was going to give it to any, I was going to say 3 sugars. I don't feel like I could give it much more. If I was to go just on the matches I watched, I'd give it 4 sugars. But anyway, WX. What was your score for Fight Club though?
For Fight Club was 3 again.
Okay. Wxw Germany had their 21st anniversary on the 18th of December, and it was released on WXW Now on the 23rd of December. It kicked off with the Arrows of Hungary versus Fast Time Modo and Stephanie Mays. The Arrows of Hungary picked up the win after a Crossfire, which is just a better version of the BTE trigger. But Mudo and Stephanie Mays did a really good job. In particular, Stephanie Mays, in for either of these reasons. One, either she legitimately hurt her knee or calf or somewhere around that. Definitely legitimately hurt her leg. And she deserves major props for pushing through and putting in the performance that she did. Or if it was the other way, major props for selling, because I totally 100% believe the fact that you were injured. So if you did pick up the injury, I hope you're recovering well. If you didn't, fantastic selling. You put on a hell of a performance against the Arrows of Hungary. You came up short, but Stephanie Mays and Fast-Time Modo should definitely be proud of the performance they put in this opening match. Bobby Guns then took on Michael Knight, and the match ended in a double countout.
You counted out, Michael.
This is the fourth time they've faced each other in 2021 in WXW. The first one ended with Bobby Guns picking up the win. The second one ended with Michael Knight picking up the win. The third one went to a time limit draw, and their fourth match this year, as I just mentioned, a double count out. That's how you do long-term storytelling in wrestling through matches.
Absolutely, Andy.
Absolute Andy. And then defeated Norman Harris as a surprise opponent. Can't say I know much about Absolute Andy, but he did go on to win. And since he shares my name, go on, the Andy. Robert Dreiskell then defeated Vincent Heisenberg after Vincent Heisenberg got himself disqualified. Then Maggot got involved, and then Anil Marek got involved, and then it was a big schmoz. Then it was finally time. Walter versus Cara Noir in the first time ever matchup. You could feel the tension in the air. Helped so much by both of these guys and the way that they enter a wrestling ring, from their music, the way that they both control the crowd in different ways. The fans obviously all stood in attention for Walter's return. They were given ample time, 25 minutes into the match before the victory was picked up by Walter. Really, really good match. However, it was not as good as Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. It was also not as good as Cara Noir versus Ilya Dragunov. This was the first time ever these two guys have ever collided against each other. And it was without a doubt for Sugar match. It was 100% a really, really good match. I could imagine what they could put on in maybe 2 to 3 matches down the line, because sometimes, just because you have 5-star level matchmakers in the ring doesn't mean they're automatically going to have a 5-star match. There's chemistry and so much to be figured out and so forth. So for what they did for a first time matchup, phenomenal, great job. Walter picked up the win in a really just good match. Then there was a 6-man ladder match. Lavanio picked up the win. Agil Blanc, Dennis Doolin, Hector Invictus, Tristan Archer. Good match. It's okay. It's a ladder match. What else can you really, car crash wrestling. Iva Koloski then defeated Sky Smithson to retain her women's championship. Then this is going to be something that Iva Koloski, she's going to need to work with women who like Sky Smithson. opponents that can carry the match a bit more. Irie is still a bit young, very athletic, does some really good flips, got great moveset on her. But yeah, she'll need some girls like Sky Smithson to really help carry the match and carry the main load. I'd like to see her get in with some of the more veteran UK wrestlers like Lizzie Evo, Lionel Roston. I think WXW could really benefit from getting some of our amazing women's wrestlers over to work with Ivor Koloski, because there's a lot of potential with her. And then was the main event, Axel Tiska. He was up against Jörn Simmons. This was another 20 plus minutes match. It was a very good match, heavyweight match, some very good near falls. Overall, just a really good match. Obviously, Walter versus Cara Noir was definitely the match of the night. The Tiska and Simmons match was very, very close second, along with the Arrows of Hungary in a joint second position. Overall, I would give this whole show 3.5 sugars. Brilliant show overall. So well done, Wxw Germany. They've been doing some amazing things. I'm really looking forward to the 16 Carat Gold in March. We have picked up the WXW Now subscription. We will be keeping it until March so that we can bring you all the action when it comes for the 16 Carat Gold tournament. But do you know where else there's been some incredible wrestling?
Has there been some incredible wrestling in the UK?
Indeed, and it's all on Powered 4 TV. 4 huge shows pretty much added onto Powered 4 TV recently. Fight Nation Wrestling's Magnificent 7 show, Madcap versus Charles Crowley, Northwest Strong, Keenan and Luke Jacobs versus Jason Joshua and Billy Hayes for the FNW Tag Team Championships, David Francisco versus Damon Moser, Callum Newman, Tom Farewell, Mark Drew, Kit Knox, Big Gun Joe, and Madka or Charles Crowley in a 6-man ladder match, Sky Smithson and versus Clementine in a women's fight league, and Danny Black versus Luke Jacobs. Highly want to appreciate both the Northwest Strong tag team and the match against Jason Joshua and Billy Hayes. Really good tag team match. Jason Joshua really matching the strength size wise up with Luke Jacobs. Keenan's really good. Billy Hayes has got really unpredictableness about him. And then, of course, the main event itself, Danny Black, Luke Jacobs, is a great match. Solid work by both guys. The card itself was hit with a lot of changes because of COVID. But overall, this was a really solid show that I would give 3.5 sugars to. So
another one on Power 4 TV, RCWA had their Christmas bash. We had Jack Toreno versus Evan Lee, Kelly Six versus Joe Lando, The Rebellion versus Evan Lee United, Paul Robinson in his return match against Callum Newman, MOS versus The Convict, and CJ Carter versus Warren Banks. Great matches.
Indeed. So I really want to highlight the Paul Robinson versus Callum Newman match here. Paul Robinson, his return match. In fact, go check out our interview with Callum Newman. He discusses being the hand-picked opponent for Paul Robinson on his return match. It looked like Robinson was having a blast in that ring, being back. He played with the crowd very well. And the main event itself, CJ Carter, Warren Banks, fantastic match indeed. I would give this show 3.5 sugars, but please try and get some women on your card next time round.
Triumph Pro, The Reboot, Volume 1, Callum Newman versus Ashley Dunn, the East Anglia Killers versus Evan Lee United, Taylor James versus Maverick Mayhew. Jack Toreno versus Rowan Blake. Danny Black versus Joe Lando versus CJ Carter versus Alex Echo versus Danny Duggan versus MOS.
In a ladder match.
Whoop, whoop.
3 ladder matches on Power 4 TV right now. Go check that out. But yeah, Triumph Pro again, the reboot. This Callum Newman versus Ashley Dunn could have easily been one of my nominations for independent match of the year. This was so good. The same will be definitely said about Taylor James and Maverick Mayhew. Again, could have easily made my nomination for independent match of the year. It is really incredible. I'd highly recommend going and check out both of those matches on Triumph Pro Wrestling right now. And RCW Triumph Pro realized didn't notice you didn't have a commentary team, so just give us a shout. And the Catch Pro Enigma Series Night 3, Block A and Block B, 2-Bit versus Dynamite Lee, Joe Kessler versus Tom Farewell, Scotty Rourke versus Kevin Lloyd, Keenan versus Joey Hayes. If I'm going to highlight matches here, it has to be Joe Kessler versus Tom Farewell and Scotty Rourke versus Kevin Lloyd. You've got a lot of storyline going into those 2 matches in particular. And the fact that they were absolutely fantastic wrestling shows. And they are all available right now on Powered 4 TV. Powered 4 TV have not just put these on there. There are several shows recently released, including TNT Extreme's Cold Day in Hell, which we will be reviewing next week. You can also check out FNW/IPW's Final Counter 2018, Final Encounter, 2018. Doug Williams versus Noah Michi Marufuji. Yes, you heard me right. Williams versus Marufuji. This is truly one incredible match. A match that you will not want to miss. So go check that out on Final Encounter 2018. And you could do all of this for free. If
How
you
much?
like, for free, no money down, you can check out the entire Powered 4 TV catalog for one whole free month if you use the TNT promotional code
TPOD.
TEAPOD. TPOD. And to be honest, if you just want to watch a couple of free matches on there right now, no sign up required, no long-term commitments required. Will Ospreay versus Kip Sabian, as well as Dan Evans versus Warren Banks. Free matches that have just been added to that. And we didn't even mention Extreme World Wrestling. The new American promotion are out on Powered 4 TV, but they had their Cashed Out 2021 in earlier May this year. Check out Moose versus Brian Cage. You got Madman Fulton, Franco Varga. It's a great card. Go check that out. Extreme World Wrestling 2021 Cashed Out. And as I say, you can check all of that out.
Let's continue with our free shows.
Yeah, kicking off with some more free shows. These are all available on YouTube right now. Oh, I didn't give my score for. Sorry. Let's give you the scores for the Powered 4 TV Triumph Pro. 4 sugars, although please again we get some women's match on there. The Catch Pro Enigma Series Night 3, 3.5 sugars as well. Free on YouTube right now. Purpose Wrestling Puppies Are Forever. Tell me about the card.
Laura Di Matteo takes on Cara Chimera. Nico Angelo versus Billy Hayes. RJ Singh and Jordan Saeed, the East City Sovereigns, versus Two Good Eggs, Rex Armstrong and JJ Lynch. Experiment in Terror, Elijah and Sky Smithson with LK Messinger versus Ollie Pierce and Jay Alexander. Ava White versus Sapphire Reed. Destination Everywhere, the NIC, Charlie Castro and Ocean Delaney, Michael Oku and Connor Mills versus David Francesco, Nino Bryant, Jordan Breaks, and Solomon Lamb.
Strong show. If I'm going to highlight two matches, it have to be the women's matches on the cards. Laura Di Matteo versus Kira Kamara. Laura Di Matteo is always one of my favorites. Ava White had a really good match with a young girl making her debut, Sapphire Reed, a phenomenal young performer who you wouldn't even realize is probably only wrestling her 6, 7, maybe 10 matches. Just to somebody definitely to keep an eye out for. Sapphire Reed, great little wrestler. So I'm going to highlight the women on this card, and I would give the whole show 3.5 sugars.
Modern Nomad Pro Wrestling's Tuesday Night Graps Live. I'm going to let you do this one because you've watched it.
Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Davis kicked off the show. Chris Egan versus Rufio versus Natalie Skies versus Scott Oberman versus Jack Bandicoot versus Man Like Austin Steve DeReese. This was crazy. Next match, Chris Ridgeway versus Martin Kirby. Lee Hunter versus Dean Allmark. And then you had Big Frog Joe, Mad Kurt, Kid Lycos, and Detective Money versus Nico Bucket Angelo, Luke Jacobs, Kid Lycos 2, and Riho. This is a really fun night. If you're just looking for something just entertaining and a good laugh, this is the type of wrestling you are really going to enjoy. I'm going to highlight the two more sensible matches, the two more skilled matches, the singles matches, which Chris Ridgeway versus Martin Kirby, which is incredible, as was Lee Hunter versus Dean Allmark, two of the best veterans on the scene. Overall, I would give this whole show, I'm going to give it 4 sugars.
Wow, that is good work.
Indeed. And finally, on our final roundup, it is the Hungarian promotion, Passion Pro, with their Passion Pro 3, which our friend of the show, Corey McRae, was on. He took on Goliath Jr. in the opening match. Lawrence Roman versus Tamas Sabo. Gil Blanc versus Danny Rocks. BT versus Dennis Cash Doolin. Tristan Archer, Savar Amin, and Rick Salem versus Tenqua and the Arrows of Hungary. Askel Tiska versus Maverick. Laszlo Arpad versus Eric Strange versus Egil Blanc. And in the main event, a street fight for Peter Tihanye and Robert Dreisker. And the two matches that I would definitely highlight on this would be the opening match between Corey McRae and Goliath Jr., which was a fantastic opening match. A really, really solid, overall great match. Big fan of Corey McRae. Look forward to seeing him do more across Europe. He definitely would deserve that, as well as Goliath Jr. Peter Tihanye, I mentioned him earlier. Fantastic, phenomenal young performer coming out of Hungary. He is the Joe Lando, the Danny Black, the Callum Newman of Hungary. He is doing some crazy stuff. He had a great street fight here with Robert Dreisker. The street fight, of course, was story-driven and therefore a really good match. They didn't go overboard, although they still use their environment, and I appreciated that. Overall, I'd give this Passion Pro 3 show 3.5 sugars. That's so much free wrestling. There's more that we didn't even mention, that we just didn't have time to get round and review. And we are sorry, guys, that we don't have time to go out there and review all the great British wrestling on this great British wrestling podcast.
Did we give a sugar score to the Rev Pro show we went to?
We didn't, and I'd definitely give it 4.5 sugars.
I would also give it 4.5 sugars. It was brilliant.
It was live. It was just phenomenal. Go, sorry.
Just fun.
It was really, really fun. That Luke Jacobs Akira match.
Yeah, brilliant match.
Just so much good stuff about. We can't wait for 2022. 2021 itself has been an incredible year for Team Tights podcast. I mean, we went from being a backwards little made for friends talk about NXT UK to, I'm not saying we're anything big, but yeah, to have our Body Slam Net back channel and videos now, Powered for TV out there helping us. Guys like John has been part of their podcasting network group with so many incredible things, so many incredible podcasts on the bodyslam.net podcast as well, the Push, the Jabronis, Friday Night Fantasy Booking with Jay Shell, just so much, the Round Table Pro Wrestling Town table, all on bodyslam.net. So many great podcasts on there right now, as well as on the John's Wrestling podcast, Wrestling with the Bear, Trash Tape. Oh, it's just so many good, just too many good podcasts. They're all out there. They're all fantastic. So are we. And we hope you've had a great 21, and we hope you have an amazing 2022. And with that said, don't feed the trolls.